Oke. Nah, pertama-tama untuk memulai kelas ini, kita masuk ke jurus pertama dari kelas ini ya. Kita akan bikin apa yang namanya group intention terlebih dahulu. Atau kadang-kadang kita suka suka pakai istilah class agreement ya. Ini kan boleh tolong share. Jadi apa maksudnya group intention atau class agreement ini? So basically, karena ini adalah kelas kita bersama-sama, jadi alih-alih dari kami kayak semacam mengeluarkan tata tertib atau peraturan untuk kelas kita, so it's better bahwa kita menyusun sendiri bersama-sama supaya kita ada ownership-nya. So hal-hal seperti apa sih yang perlu kita ikutin untuk selama mengikuti sesi-sesi kelas ini gitu. So itu yang dimaksud dengan group intention. Jadi we will start with creating our own group intention gitu ya. Kan belum. Uh, ini dari kami ada beberapa poin Mbak template ya dari kita. Nanti teman-teman di sini silakan kalau mau diubah, mau direvisi, mau ditambah, silakan. Jadi ini adalah poin-poin yang kita bersama-sama harap akan menjadi semacam our guidance, panduan kita, disiplin kita bersama-sama for the sake of our own class together. Hal-hal yang harus kita perhatikan selama kelas, selama kita pertemuan kita selama 9 sesi ke depan lah. Nanti kita akan secara rutin review group intention ini. Jadi yang pertama adalah terkait confidentiality, bahwa artinya whatever happens here stays here. Jadi ini adalah safe space, ini adalah first and foremost. Jadi kalau teman-teman nanti misalnya ada yang mau curhat dan segala macam, atau ada mau diskusi segala macam, so kita sangat menjunjung tinggi confidentiality, itu satu. Nanti teman-teman setuju atau enggak? Kalau mau dihapus, boleh. Nanti kita lihat mau seperti apa. Terus poin kedua yang kita ajukan adalah ada istilahnya step up or step back. Kalau artinya gini, kalau bagi teman-teman ada yang merasa aku itu pemalu, aku itu introvert gitu. So, jika teman-teman mengidentifikasi bahwa diriku seperti itu, dan ini adalah kesempatan untuk step up. Okay, talk more gitu. Jadi encourage yourself to talk more. Tapi kalau bagi teman-teman yang merasa, oh biasanya aku suka talkative nih, terlalu dominating, so sekarang ini aku akan gunakan kesempatan ini untuk step back gitu loh, untuk agak menahan diri dan be a mindful listener gitu. Jadi ini poin kedua yang kita usulkan. Ini masih usulan ya, belum kita agree bersama. Terus poin ketiga adalah be present. Lalu kalau memungkinkan, keep the video open supaya kita bisa saling melihat, saling berinteraksi. Karena kan compassion itu is about connection kan. Dan connection itu starts with the eye. Jadi bermula dari mata. Gitu. Jadi ini adalah poin ketiga usulan kita, peraturan yang kita mau kita uphold untuk sesi-sesi kita. Sama yang keempat adalah assume best intention, bahwa apa namanya, jadi jangan suuzon. Jadi kalau ada, kita percaya the good faith in people. Kalau mungkin misalnya ada teman-teman misalnya say something yang kadang-kadang misalnya menyinggung kita, atau do something yang tidak sesuai dengan our expectation, assume best intention. Mungkin dia maksudnya nggak begitu gitu. Jadi have a good faith in people gitu. Jadi ini 4 poin pertama usulan kita. Teman-teman kira-kira ada yang nggak setuju atau mau menambahkan apa nggak? Silakan.
Mungkin kita bisa,
Intan ada tambahan?
ya, mungkin gini aja kali ya. Dari empat ini kita bisa, teman-teman bisa give a thumbs up kalau you would like to keep it like this. And maybe if you don't like, you keep the thumbs down, or maybe you can add anything that we would like to add into the group intentions. Can you start by one kali? Kamu misalnya confidentiality. So, do you have a thumbs up to keep the group intention to confidentiality? Okay. All right. Step up and
Pak,
step back. Thumbs up or thumbs down?
apa sih artinya step up and step back sekali lagi?
Oh,
Kalau
jadi,
Johnson,
oke. Kalau step up itu misalnya nih kita melihat diri kita eh, selama ini misalnya aku orangnya introvert, aku malu bicara, aku apa namanya, pokoknya aku pemalu gitu ya. Jadi kalau kita mengidentifikasi diri kita sebagai itu, maka anggap kesempatan kelas ini sebagai an opportunity to step up, to talk more, to share more gitu. Atau sebaliknya, kalau misalnya aku menganggap diriku itu selama ini memang orangnya very passionate, ingin banyak bercerita, so ambil kesempatan kelas ini sebagai an opportunity to step back, untuk withhold a little bit, try to be more mindful when listening to people gitu. Jadi itu maksudnya step back gitu. Jadi it's a balancing ourselves
hmm,
gitu.
Okay,
it's
thank
about,
you.
yeah, giving opportunity to others to share if they may.
Okay.
Okay, we agree to have step up and step back. Okay. Be present and keep video on. Do we agree on that group intention?
I have something to say.
Yeah.
I think keep the video on is actually very necessary. Why? Because this is a small group. Number two, it is intimate. This is an intimate class. Why? It's also on the first point, it's also saying confidentiality anyway.
Yeah.
So if you don't keep your video on, it's actually also preventing you to be present, because when you video off, you feel that you can do whatever, which is then preventing you also to be present. That's number one. But also number two, is actually if it's a small group and if you want to share something also intimate, if you have anybody is actually on the video off, you don't feel safe. I just want to add to that.
Thank you so much, May. Yes, I think
Thank
that's
you.
exactly the point if we want to have the video on. Just to, it's a small group, like Johnson said, as a safe space for us to share. So whatever happened, that stay in the class. And then, yeah, it helps us to connect better. So how about this? Thank you, Nat.
Kayak nggak apa-apa ya kalau memang ada
Yep.
yang memang kebetulan lagi nggak lagi berhalangan, so it's okay.
Yep.
Makanya apa poinnya adalah if possible. Jadi with that spirit yang disampaikan oleh Jigme juga tadi. Kalau if
Mhm.
possible, let's do it. Kalau memang bermasalah, lagi berhalangan, it's okay.
Agree. So as we know that life happens and there are some times that we cannot put the video on, it's okay. But most of the time, if we can, just please put the video on. The last one, assume best intentions. Agree to keep it? All right, then. Anything else that I would like to add?
Ada yang mau ditambahkan? Ada, oke. So we close dengan 4 poin ini. Nanti kita bisa revisit. Jadi every week ketika kita bertemu di awal-awal kelas, kita akan revisit this group intention untuk cek kira-kira apakah perlu dimodify atau enggak poin-poin ini gitu ya. Nanti kita akan along the way, kita satu untuk reminding ourselves juga, dua juga untuk to see apakah ada yang perlu di customize atau enggak sesuai dengan progress kita gitu. Oke, kalau sudah, then kita bisa move on ya ke next agenda.
Okay.
Silakan, Kak.
All right, let me share the screen again. Wait, yeah. As Johnson said, life happened. Hmm. All right. So thank you. So thank you, Johnson. So if I may, mungkin before we start, just want to share that in this session, I think we would like to try to bring the sessions in mixed language. So in some topic will be brought in Bahasa and some topic will be brought in English. It's part of the learning as well. And then for the participants, is feel free to choose whichever language that you feel comfortable to share or to discuss or within the group discussions. You may choose to use English or you may choose to use Bahasa, whichever that you feel comfortable, yeah. So before we move forward, just let's take a moment to pause and look back at what we have explored in this overview module. Like, I believe that some of you, I think most of you already began the training in the overview module in Compassion You. And then in this overview module, we are first asking the very fundamental questions. What is compassion? And why it is so important to train compassion. We explored compassion in this module. It's not just a nice idea, as I said before, but also as a skill. That's some things that we can really understand, we can practice, and of course, we can strengthen over time. We know that we start in the first insight activity 1, which is about the setting goals that Johnson has gone through that as well. And many of you have shared your personal intention also in last week for this course. Last week we heard beautiful and honest motivations, like I shared about why I joined the compassion training to fulfill my own vow. And Johnson shared why he's interested in compassion because he wished to understand, correct, Johnson, understand compassion from many different angles. And I remember something, Pauline, you shared something very touching about you as well. So thank you again, Pauline, for the sharing. And I think that these intentions really matters because they remind us why we are here. Then in Insight Activity 2, it's about connecting to compassion. We explored a shared understanding of compassion itself. I may want to reshare again the definition of compassion according to CBCT. Compassion, according to CBCT, is the warm-hearted concern that unfolds when we witness the suffering of others, then feel motivated to relieve it. So based on these definitions, we learned that there are 3 components. One is the affective components, which is the sense of warm-heartedness that we feel in our body. The second one is the cognitive components, which is the ability to see and also to understand that something is happening right now. And the third one is the motivational component, is the genuine wishes or desire to wish that suffering to be relieved. So those are the 3 components that we learned. In this activity also, we are invited to reflect on the object of compassion, which we will explore more deeply in the next breakout discussions, right, Johnson? And then the next comes the storytelling. If you remember the storytelling section, and I'll share honestly, this is one of my favorite parts. Through the story of soldiers and the children, then we are reminded that compassion is not a luxury, just like I said last week. Compassion is not luxury. It's a basic human need, just like food and water is something that we as a human beings are really, really long for. In Insight Activity 3, we are introduced to the ideas of zone of well-being, which how we function best when we feel safe, supported, and also regulated. We explore more deeply about this zone of well-being concepts in the next few modules. And we also touched about the formal and informal practices. The formal practices, which is the settling practice that we already tried also last week, like or meditations, and informal practices, which is the help now strategies, which walk, listens, look, drink, count backwards, push, and also touch. And I hope that you had or will have moments to practice during the week. All right. So that we learned the overview module, now I'd like to open a short discussions for reflections. So it's just like debrief or discussions is open space to share what you have learned, what stood out for you from this overview module. Was there anything that you noticed, like you learned, or maybe if there is any aha moments that you experienced during, the learning about the overview module? Again, you're welcome to share by speaking in any language that you feel comfortable. If you feel not comfortable in sharing, so you can also write in the chat. You may share in whatever means that you feel comfortable for you. So I just like stop sharing this so we can like see each other. All right, so who wants to share first? Is there anything that you noticed during the learning about this overview module? Anything that maybe any feeling that shift, attitude that shift, aha moments? Doesn't need to be like something big, like very small also okay.
I can start.
Oh, thank you, Jigme.
For me, is this actually I don't remember what slide or in what context, in what lesson, I don't remember. But there is something about it is said that the reason or there's this, I think there's this about these 4 points. About the first point is the time to pause, and then I think there's a bigger picture, so this is like part of the, I think it is part of the example of the bigger picture. When they mentioned about the bigger picture. One of the bigger picture is actually the example is how much that you think the relationship between you and the person or the object, that how much that important relationship is for you, which is then considered in that practice. For me, actually, I never thought about that kind of aspect of how much that you really need to think about your relationship with that person in consideration of practicing compassion. So I'm not saying now I'm in the already completely understand or kind of, have a full figure of what it is, but I start digesting it. Like it's just starting to become another component I'm thinking about compassion practice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jigme, for sharing. I think that's a beautiful story shared by one of the AI facilitator called Tasi. Is that correct? Right, the bigger
Yeah.
picture when he has these problems with his sons,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a beautiful story. It also like hits me because there are sometimes that in the split second then we got triggered, right? So it's just like everything happens so fast. So that's what happened with Tasi at that time when his son actually spilled the milk from the fridge. If I'm not mistaken, that's the story. And then because he was going to preparing to go to the office with all the suits and everything in the morning, but the milk spilled and it's just like makes the shirt is dirty. And then in split second, he just wants to yell, right? And it's like burst. And then he took a moment to pause, right? And then in that moment, Tasi reflect about the relationship and see the bigger picture in terms of the relationship for him and the son. And that in that split moment is he understand that, oh, the son's reactions might not just because of the running out of milk, but maybe because of something that really stressed him out. So seeing that broader view that, oh, in this relationship, the son's actually is very stressful, and then he loves the son, and he believes also the son loves him back. So he is able to take the pause and then just to breathe and prevent negative emotions to come up. I think that's a very good practice. And then it is something, especially if I may say, especially in the corporate, right? For for those who still working in corporate, things like that happens all the time. During like heated argument and a meeting that we just want to snap. And then we need to learn how to pause. Thank you so much, Shikmei, for sharing. That's a very beautiful
Thank
learning.
you. I just want to add a little bit about talking about
Yeah.
relationship. When we talk about compassion, I think we talk about not only people surround us or actually also our beloveds, but actually also like all beings. So when we say that relationship, in terms of practicing seeing the relationship in the bigger picture, if it will be easier for us to think about relationship if it's actually our close one and beloveds, or even in the corporate environment, you can still think about relationship. But if you then practice, let's say you just in the car and just suddenly somebody like piss you off, just like cut you off, and then the question or the challenge is how then you can think about relationship with you and that person that actually comes to the bigger picture. That's what comes to mind, which actually I feel that needs more digestion. Thank you.
That's beautiful. Yes. Thank you for the insights. And then I believe, Kay, you said that that feeling is very relevant. Yes, it is very relevant. Thank you. So anyone else would like to share?
Yeah, maybe I want to share, Mbak Intan.
Thank you,
And
Pak.
also want to clarify my understanding also. Di overview yang itu menurut aku ada yang menarik, John of Well-being. Di John of Well-being itu I learned that something new, that during the John of Well-being we not only feel happy, but at that John we also can feel anger, sadness, and all of the emotion we can feel. Jadi bertanya sih, sebenarnya apa beda happiness pada saat high John ataupun low John gitu? Apakah ada pembedanya gitu? Berarti dengan kata lain, kalau misalnya di John of Well-being kita bisa merasakan semua emotion, berarti pada saat high John kita juga bisa merasakan semua emotion dong. Tapi bagaimana kita cara membedakan bahwa happiness ini adalah yang John of Well-being atau happiness ini out of John of Well-being gitu? Mungkin bisa dibantu untuk memperjelas pemahamannya. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you so much, Bali. I think that's a very valid questions, very good questions. It is zone of well-being, as we said in the module. There is zone of well-being, which is Indonesia kita biasanya bilangnya zona oke atau zona tangguh. And then there is high zone and there is also like low zone. And it is said that even in the zone of well-being, it doesn't mean that you always feel happy, 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 and safe and comfort all the lala emotions, the good emotions. No. In the zone of well-being, we can still feel, the up and downs of the emotions, the happy, the sad, the frustrations, and things like that. And your question is very valid because, and then what is the difference between we feel like happy or sad in the zone of well-being or being sad in the low zone, right? Correct? Sorry. The difference between being in the zone of well-being and then throw into the high zone or the low zone is when we are in the zone of well-being, even though we feel like sad, even though we feel angry, even though we feel happy, we still feel safe. We still feel that we hold the control. So we are not out of control. That's the difference. We can still, for example, like in the meeting. Again, I use the examples of meetings because becomes of the corporate. But for example, in the meeting that someone challenges us and we feel triggered, right? And we feel angry because you don't know what you're talking about. But then again, if we're still in the zone of well-being, we can control our emotions. We can step back, we can see things objectively, then because we can have a clear mind, see things objectively, we can react objectively as well. While in the high zones is more into like the high emotions like anger, frustrated. We may like if you don't have the control, we can like flip the table. Sorry, flip the table. Flip the table or just like, yell at the person. We are out of control. We do something that we might regret, correct? So that's the difference between the emotions that we feel in the zone of well-being and the emotion that we feel in the high zone or the low zones. As long as we feel safe, we still feel comfort and also like still under control, we can still in the zone of well-being. I hope that answer or anything else. Anyone else would like to add maybe from the group or from Johnson's? Can loh.
Ya, mungkin aku tambah dikit ya. Jadi setuju dengan yang disebut oleh Intan ya. Kata kuncinya mungkin di kontrol itu, yang benar-benar the keyword itu untuk membedakan apakah kita ada dalam zone of well-being atau kita ada di high or low zone. Itu keyword yang utama itu adalah control. Kalau seperti tadi kata misalnya Jigme mengatakan ketika kita punya control untuk stop and pause and think, dan itu artinya berarti kita berada dalam kondisi yang zone of well-being. Tapi kalau ketika kita lose control, ketika high zone itu excitement juga bisa ya. Contoh misalnya kayak kita besok mau berangkat liburan nih misalnya. Kadang-kadang kita bisa sampai nggak bisa tidur kan. Sampai kita karena mikir terus kan, playing the scenario kan. Besok saya naik pesawat ke sini 14 jam mau terbang ke Eropa segala macam gitu. So because of that, lalu itu juga bisa dikategorikan sebagai high zone ketika kita akhirnya jadi nggak bisa tidur dan activity kita terganggu. Atau misalnya nih low zone-nya itu kita bangun-bangun tidur kan some days ya itu kita lagi bad mood, low mood ya sehingga kita mager, nggak mau keluar kamar misalnya, something like that. Itu juga bisa dikategori sebagai low zone. Tapi the moment kita bisa realize bahwa this is happening to me, lalu aku tadi istilahnya pause and then think and then what should I do about it, then that means kita basically berada within that zone of well-being gitu. Meskipun jadi it's okay to be high, to be low, as long as we have control about it, dan itu kita masih dikategorikan sebagai zone of well-being. Mungkin itu.
Thank you, Johnson. I think it's very relevant. And also like I saw Kay also share something that's very insightful in the chat. Thank you, Kay. Like this is the keyword, yeah. Kay would like to share the relating to that when I'm able to realize and be aware of the moments that help me bounce back from feelings of pressure or sadness during this time. I think that the one of the good word that Kay shared here, the bounce back. So that's, I think, the very good insight, Kay. So everything that we learn in the CBCT helps us to bounce back from whatever high zone or low zone back to our zone of well-being. So thank you so much for sharing. Anything else that anyone else would like to share?
Maybe I can go on this one.
Okay, yes.
Just sharing like a very quick story. So recently, in my work, I've been spending like quite a lot of time listening to some research conversations. Like we went to several cities to listen to so many people. And what struck me the most, like despite the work stuff, is that how like so many people from different cities with different like economical background, everyone have their own layered emotion. Behind like all the pressures and everything, the feeling of something like uncertainty, even the positive one like hope, also like pride. For me, like sitting with those stories really required me not to just analyze, but to be present, like to be part of this journey together with you guys as well. I realized that, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like this listening part is also act of compassion. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's why like when you guys talk about the zone of well-being, I can say it's resonate deeply with me. Especially I spend most of the time at work because somehow it gives the language to something I've been experiencing lately. And going back to the stories that I just shared is that what I learned, especially in the last part of the process, is that I understand that remove difficult emotion, that's not compassion. I mean, compassion isn't about that. It's about maybe staying regulated. That's what I understand. To hold to those situation without being overwhelmed. So I don't know whether that story is true or not. Maybe Mbak Intan or Johnson can share your thoughts because I'm still regulating.
Mhm, mhm,
So yeah, that's from what I understand for the past week,
mhm.
doing the module and also experiencing life. So yeah.
I think thank you so much, Tess, for sharing. I think that that's a very insightful and very beautiful experience you shared. I know what you mean by the listening to the, so we do have this group discussion in many cities, right? And then by listening, it takes compassion also to listen.
Mhm.
So I think that's very valid as well. That's why we say that sometimes when a people in trouble, they came to us to share, correct? To share stories. And then most of the times what they need is not solutions. What they need is they just need to be heard. That's why, like, trying to hear what other people said, people's story, just hear, do not give actions or to give solutions is a compassion by itself. So yeah, Jason bilang suka dan setuju 100% dengan ceritanya Tess. Thank you so much for sharing then. I think we need to move forward. We have many other like group discussion later on. So today will be full of discussion, I think. Feel free to share. This is a safe group. I think we can go to the next module.
Mm-mm.
Okay,
Ya,
Johnson.
oke. Kita punya waktu kurang dari setengah jam. Ya, aku sama Intan di sini kan basically kita sebagai fasilitator, ya kan? Kita kan bukan ngajar sebenarnya, karena basically kita belajarnya dari Compassion U materi-materinya. So our role here adalah fasilitator. Apa yang kita fasilitasi? Kita berusaha memfasilitasi proses belajarnya teman-teman dan sebenarnya during that process kami sendiri juga belajar gitu. Nah, salah satu cara kami memfasilitasi adalah dengan banyak berdiskusi dan banyak menstimulate activity di dalam sesi pertemuan kita. Jadi ini akan menjadi pola yang akan terus berulang di sesi-sesi kita mendatang. Kita namakan sebagai deeper dive activity. Jadi aktivitas untuk dive deeper. Jadi kita akan choose topik-topik tertentu setiap minggu, kira-kira aktivitas tertentu apa yang kita akan deeper dive ke dalamnya. Nah, untuk minggu ini kita akan deeper dive ke salah satu insight activity di Compassion U, yaitu terkait dengan connecting to compassion. Teman-teman kalau ingat, ya kan, di aktivitas itu kita diminta untuk do something very simple untuk sekedar mencari satu barang yang bisa mengingatkan kita dengan compassion. Be it memory, be it sesuatu barang yang membuat kita bisa ingat, oh ini adalah, it contains quality of compassion. Atau misalnya, oh ini saya dapat barang ini dari someone yang I care about, or someone who care for me. Jadi, kadang-kadang it's very simple, tapi kadang-kadang we need it untuk remind ourselves, untuk melatih identifying compassion di hidup kita gitu. So, jadi sekarang kita akan coba sekali lagi, ya kan? Apakah teman-teman misalnya mau mencoba mengambil barang objek lain, atau misalnya mau menggunakan objek yang sama dengan yang teman-teman lakukan di Compassion U itu, Lalu teman-teman bisa journaling dengan pertanyaan-pertanyaan untuk berusaha menjawab pertanyaan-pertanyaan yang ditampilkan di slide ini. Teman-teman bisa menjurnal atau misalnya bisa you can play it in your head if that's what you do better, ya kan? Jadi apakah ada sesuatu objek yang memang membuat teman-teman menjadi teringat connect yourself with compassion, ya kan? Nah, kalau misalnya itu objek itu mewakili suatu memori, lalu teman-teman bisa kira-kira ingat feeling apa yang muncul ketika memori itu datang. Jadi di-identify the emotions, the feeling. Kalau bisa mengidentifikasi bodily sensation-nya seperti apa ketika misalnya saya memegang barang ini, seperti itu. Nah, itu coba teman-teman, kalau misalnya teman-teman ada ready within your reach, notebook, catatan atau whatever, atau mau type in, atau misalnya just mau play in your head, silakan. Kita akan kasih beberapa menit waktu untuk you reflect. Ya, kira-kira barangnya apa, lalu what is your feeling about it, what is your, if there's any bodily sensations that you can identify that connect you to the compassion through that object. Gitu, ya. Kita kasih waktu berapa lama, Tan?
Kayaknya
2
like
minutes.
2 minutes enough ya.
Oke, ya. So kita kasih waktu 2 menit. Teman-teman kira-kira bisa play it back menggunakan objek yang sama, or you can choose another object. Ya, we'll pause for 2 minutes bagi teman-teman untuk exercise in your head. Silakan. Is it enough? Nah, next-nya itu karena mungkin teman-teman agak awal-awalnya kan malu kalau cerita rame-rame, jadi kita akan breakout room supaya ceritanya bisa lebih lebih leluasa karena kan small group ya. Jadi kita akan breakout room, satu grup berapa orang, Tan? 3 orang ya?
3 orang. Jadi untuk yang breakout room-nya itu kayak as usual you take turn to share one another. Each person will have like 3 minutes to share. And then there's no need to rush. 2 simple questions. Why did you choose the object of compassion, and what feelings or physical you notice when you connected with it? Welcome to share. Yeah, we'll be in the breakout room for about like 18 minutes or so. So will be
18.
like 12 minutes ya. 12 minutes or
Okay,
so.
ya.
Okay.
12 minutes. Jadi make sure kurang lebih guidance-nya ya tadi 3 menit cerita kan bertiga. Tapi ya fleksibel. Kalau misalnya ada more times, jadi silakan bisa cerita lebih banyak. Kalau misalnya waktu kurang, dan kasih ya kayak step up and step back seperti itu. Ya. Lalu setelah selesai sharing, kalau misalnya you have time, ada 2-3 menit terakhir, eh, make some time ya untuk kira-kira kalian bertiga cerita, kalian misalnya what insight, what aha moments yang teman-teman dapatin. Oh, misalnya, oh ternyata sama ya, saya juga merasakan seperti ini ternyata, atau ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan misalnya apa gitu, teman-teman bisa cerita di situ, misalnya sisa 2-3 menit terakhir, lalu then maybe nanti kita akan kembali ke grup besar, dan whatever insight you have di sesi sisa-sisa tadi, di brief tadi, itu bisa dibawa ke grup besar untuk kita ceritakan gitu ya. Jadi two
Oke.
questions.
Mhm.
Kenapa kamu pilih objek itu, why, sama dua, ketika kamu menggunakan objek itu, apa yang kamu rasakan? Ya, jadi silakan. Nanti
Alright,
itu
I just
akan
open the room ya. Yeah, see you back here shortly.
itu Eka-nya ada masalah nggak? Bisa join breakout room-nya nggak?
Iya, it's not joining soalnya. Mungkin bisa ditanya kali.
Halo Eka, ini yang tadi saya cerita teman apa namanya, dia lagi traveling,
Oh,
jadi
it's fine then.
maybe
It's fine if cannot join the breakout room. Nggak apa-apa juga. So it's just like kayak 3-3-3 gitu, Johnson. That's fine.
oke.
Reminds me jam berapa ya kita harus kasih?
Tadi sekitar 14 ya,
Iya ya.
14 plus 12.
Jadi
26 berarti. Past 26.
I think really running out of time ya.
Mm-mm.
Mungkin kita percepat aja kali ya. 3-3-3, 3-3-3, 3-3-3, 9. Tadi 14 ya. Hmm. Dua tiga. Paling nanti kalau mau praktis gue percepat. Nggak, the briefnya cuma in the chat aja. Gimana?
Oke.
Mm-mm.
Ini habis breakout room, masih mau sharing lama nggak? Masih mau sharing, masih ada waktu nggak?
I think that's important sih ya. Mungkin nggak usah lama-lama tapi
Mm-mm.
satu atau dua aja gimana?
Oke.
Or maybe what do you think if like hmm, kalau ternyata banyak yang kalau ternyata banyak yang apa sih namanya mau share, bener-bener nanti ya formal praktisnya nggak usah ada debrief sama sekali. Gue juga persingkat aja sekitar 3 menit lah gitu misalnya.
Oke.
Mm-mm.
Ya kita eh, realitanya kita akan selesai breakout room 26 sih.
Iya, anyway,
Nggak bisa ngapa-ngapain lagi juga. Udah pasti akan molor.
iya. Kalau mau ke di 23 sih. 23 udah di call. Gimana? 23 masing-masing udah dapat 3 menit.
Mm-mm. Di chat aja loh, kasih tahu
Mm-mm.
mereka biar nggak tiba-tiba di cut. Kita call back di sekitar 3 menit lagi bilang.
Kalau nggak small group debriefnya kita pindah ke big group debrief. Ya.
Iya, basically kan kita berarti hilangin 3 menit yang small group
Mm-mm.
debrief kan. Langsung
Mm-mm.
zoom, langsung summon aja. Mungkin kamu kasih tahu aja Tan, sisa 2 menit di
Iya ya,
chat kayaknya. Ah,
gue mau chat. In 3 minutes deh.
Kok 3 menit?
Soalnya nanti ada
Hah?
itunya nggak apa-apa. Nanti 2 menit, abis itu di recallnya semenitan.
Oh,
It's okay.
3 menit berarti ya di 25 jadinya.
23.
3 semenit lagi harusnya.
Enggak. Dia di 24 sebenarnya. Gue stop sharingnya. Closing. Hello, welcome back.
Hello, hello.
Hai.
Okay. Is it all?
Hello.
Hello. Hi,
Hai,
Kay.
Kay.
Hello.
All right, I think we're all here. Okay, Johnson.
Oke. Gimana? Selamat datang kembali. Ada yang mau bercerita kah?
It's funny how
Eh,
me and Jigme has similar object but berbeda.
Oke.
Similar tapi berbeda.
Willing to
Hmm,
share?
uh, mungkin dikit ya. I think from my view, object would be my bed. That's where I feel the most safe, and a place for me to be in my calm zone, get enough mental space to think and reflect, and wind down. For Jigme, it's also in the bedroom area, but it's her lovely dog, Snowy.
Iya, iya. Thanks for
Yeah.
sharing, Kay. And Jigme juga. Iya, iya. Makes very make sense ya. Jadi tempat tidur memang menyenangkan sih.
Bener banget, bener
Ya,
banget.
and dog as well, dog as well. Aku punya anjing juga, Jigme. So yeah, I can relate as well. Um, ada lagi yang mau share? Oh, kalau saya boleh probe a little bit ya, Kay atau Jigme gitu. What do you feel? Tadi kan the second questions ya. Ketika misalnya berada di kasur, tempat tidur, atau tadi misalnya meluk Snowy gitu, what is the feeling yang muncul? Body listening seperti apa gitu?
Oke,
Please
duluan
go
aja.
ahead. Aku kan udah gantian dong.
Um, So remember when Kay mentioned about her bed, then then the next turn would be me. That's why I say, oh okay, sama dong. Aku juga orang ranjang. If anything can and everything can just be done in bed, I would just stay in bed forever and ever. But then
Oh,
anyway, so and Kay already said like she felt whenever she's in bed, she felt that's where she can feel compassion, that's where she can relax, also like being home from all the chaotic days. For me, the bed with Snowy is actually I mentioned the bed. Snowy has bed in my working room. This is my working room. And in my working room, this is where I do my practice, the Dharma practice, receiving lung, whatever that I do, receiving teaching. So whenever I'm here, Snowy also here in her bed, which then that's how I feel how much also she can hear and also receive whatever Dharma, whatever it is actually then pouring from the whatever is actually happening also in the room. So she's with me. So hope then that's how then I feel so happy, so joyful, feeling that I can give something which is hope it will free her from suffering or whatever it is and in her life right now, and so hope she will have a better rebirth in the next lifetime. I remember Gisela from Nalanda mentioned about if you are actually someone who have a dog shelter or animal shelter, the best you can do is actually to pray for them or do whatever you can do to also wish them to have a better life in the next lifetime. When I actually when I actually heard him saying that, I'm like, oh, I'm so happy and so aligned with this, and I always wish her to always have a better lifetime in the next her life, in the next of her lifetime. So that's how I feel. Thank you.
Thank you. sharingnya, Jigme. Thank you, thank you. Yes, yes, yes. I agree 100%, 1000%. Karena kita running out of time ya kayaknya Tan ya. Silakan
Yeah.
mungkin Tan ya. Masih ada waktu untuk do the formal practice or not? Silakan.
Yeah, let's just do a short formal practice. And then before that, maybe just would like to say thank you, Jigme, for sharing. I think you really share what is it to be compassionate about the feeling, about the actions, and also the motivation. So thank you. Thank you so much for that. And okay, so since we're running out of time, so we just need to do like a short formal practice, and then after that we just have a closing, and we'll stay here for another 15 minutes. Yeah. Formal practice or oh, Natasha is got kicked. Okay. All right. So just a short one. If you still remember the formal practice that we have in the overview module, let's take a moment to find a sitting position that feels comfortable. Allow your spine to be upright. You're sitting in a chair. Your feet like solidly grounded on the floor. You're sitting on a cushions in cross leg. You may want to use extra cushions so your hips are above your knees. So relax a little, not too rigid. Try to find a balance between relaxation and alertness. Bring your attention gently to your body and notice how you present at this moment. If there are any area in your body that is uncomfortable, feel free to make small movement. Stretch whatever helps the body feel more comfortable. You are welcome to close your eyes or keep them slightly open, whatever feel most comfortable for you right now. Notice the sensation in your body. Allow yourself to be fully arrive here in this moment. So when you are ready, begin to take a 3 slow, deep breath. Now breathing gently, it feels okay. Imagine the breath, full the oxygen flowing through your body, nourishing and supporting you. And as you breathe out, see if you can release even just a little any tension or worry you may be holding today or for the past 1 week, for the past 1 month, or even any tensions for the past 1 year. Allowing our body and mind to become a bit calmer, a bit more spacious. We may also bring our attention to the sensation in our body, like your hands settling one another, or the breeze from the aircon touching your skin. Just spend a moment to observe the sensation to further calm and settle into present moment. There's nothing you need to fix or to change. No need to force anything. Just breathe gently. You may want to give some space between your breath in and breath out. Breathe gently. Just letting things be as it is. Allowing the body and mind to finally rest as it is. So now, whenever you're ready, you may slowly open your eyes and gently return your attention to the room.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Intan. Eh, Kalau teman-teman misalnya ada any comment terkait anything, khususnya mungkin formal practice dan sebagainya, karena kita kurang waktu untuk debrief dan diskusi, mungkin bisa karena kita punya WhatsApp group, so we can utilize that ya. Kalau bagi teman-teman misalnya whatever you feel, whatever your experiences terkait dengan anything formal practice dan sebagainya, bisa lanjutkan didiskusikan aja di WhatsApp group gitu ya. Lalu kayaknya sesinya selesai, kita udah molor 5 menit. So, jadi ini penutup. Jadi hanya a simple reminder bahwa teman-teman sudah bisa mulai mengerjakan modul M1. Jadi sudah boleh mulai dimulai. Lalu modul M0 overview itu kan udah formal sama informal practice. Jadi itu juga bisa keep dilakukan. Ada satu cerita dari M0 kemarin, ada bahwa dikatakan bahwa compassion itu kan seperti bunga di taman kita, ya kan? Jadi kita itu nggak bisa suruh, bunga tumbuh dong, gitu kan nggak bisa. Apa yang bisa kita lakukan adalah kita harus nyirem sama kasih pupuk. Dan kita harus kasih conditions, causes, sebab-sebab supaya dia bisa tumbuh. Nah, itu adalah formal sama informal practice. Jadi, pemahaman-pemahaman kita itu, compassion adalah ada 3 komponen dan sebagainya, itu akan lebih bermanfaat jika dilanjutkan dengan formal practice sama informal practice, dengan menyiraminya sama kasih pupuk. Gitu. So, it's very important. Jadi, silakan lakukan formal dan informal practice-nya, lalu bisa mulai, M1 dimulai, supaya nanti kita ketemu minggu depan itu idealnya itu teman-teman semua sudah menyelesaikan M1 itu dan kita bisa deeper dive lagi terhadap whatever is inside that M1 gitu ya. Terus ada community features, kalau teman-teman mau nyoba boleh silakan chatting-chatting di situ supaya bisa connect sama banyak teman-teman CBCT di internationally ya. Kita akan ketemu lagi berarti minggu depan di jam yang sama. Any last questions? Last minute questions? Kalau nggak ada teman-teman udah boleh ini sih, boleh leave the room. Kalau misalnya sudah harus pergi, tapi aku sama Intan mungkin akan stay beberapa saat kalau ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan teknikal yang perlu kita jawab. Terima kasih teman-teman semua sudah bersedia meluangkan waktunya.
Thank you. Terima kasih
Sampai
semua
jumpa minggu depan.
Terima kasih,
for
Kojo,
being
Mbak
this
Intan.
compassion journey.
Terima
Thank you
kasih.
so much. See you next week.
Oke semua.
Thank you, Intan. Thank you, Johnson.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so much,
Jigne.
Thank you
Sigme.
all. Bye.
Thank
Ya.
you. Thank you, Eka. Thank you, Karina. Thank you so much.
Yeay, pergi semua. Itu kan gue bilang kan, gue harus cabut juga.
Pas.
Ada kita butuh ngobrol-ngobrol bentar atau maybe later lah ya.
Betul lah ya. I
uh,
think
lu
buat
kirimin gua videonya ya.
iya, lo
Upload
mau bikinin transkripnya kan soalnya kan?
di
And then
drive-nya aja.
langsung dikirimin aja ya.
Uh,
Gak lupa lagi tadi remind me kalau misalnya nextnya pencet transkrip.
Oh, nggak apa-apa.
Lu bisa kan?
Oke. Bisa.
Sebenarnya bisa
No
aja
problem.
sih.
Lu upload ke G Drive aja ya, supaya
Oke.
gampang kan.
Oke.
Nanti gue tinggal download dari situ. Oke,
Alright. Thank
we did
you,
it. We did
Johnson.
it.
We
Good
did.
job. Oke,
Next time, better time management.
iya, biasalah itu. Oke,
Okay, thank you. See you.
bye-bye. See
Bye.
you.